Live. Hello, everybody watching on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We're as live as can be at the moment on all our channels. Already got 19 here now. Big numbers.
Bloody hell. It's a big turnout for a Sunday, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. What we got planned today then, son?
We are going to be doing some live product research with Helium-10, which if you want to get 30% off, you can check the video description. We're going to plug it all the way through because Helium-10 is great. We use it every single day and you can save some money. So,
and that 30% discount just for us, isn't it? Everyone else gets 20. But if you know us, makes rates, just go to that link below.
Extra. I'm just checking how we actually go live on Instagram. Can you see if it is, Jan? And then if not, I'll just kick it off.
Yeah. I'll do it one sec.
But welcome everyone. So no comments yet. How many people got? 25 people, 6 from Twitter, 19 from YouTube. Welcome everyone. Good to see you. This is the first product research session that we're actually doing live, properly live, because I've done some videos before that have been done quite well, been quite popular, but never actually live streaming it like this, and it's quite fun. Hey Grant, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Sunday. I'll give it a couple of minutes and then we'll sort of kick off because I'll talk about some of these filters that we've got over here on Helium-10. Hey Tony, hey Mario. Hey Sarthak, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Why? Because you're watching weird men on the internet again? Is that what it is, Grant? Just tell her you're investing in your future, buddy. She won't have a problem with that. How many we got? 26. Just going to check to see whether the email just went out to everybody. There we go. How's everyone's Sunday going? What are you doing on a Sunday? It's absolutely beautiful over here in Barcelona. Went for some acai. Bet you don't know what that is, you Jansen, do you? It's a little
acai,
Brazilian.
That's a Japanese beer, isn't it?
No. Well, yeah. It sounds similar, yeah.
What is it?
Hey, Alan, how you doing? 32 people. We're gonna break the internet.
I'm just looking. This just shows our level of security. I'm just looking for the Instagram password, Alex. If you can, you send it to me.
Do you want me to just say it now? It's password 123.
Ah, that's it. Yeah, it's I love Amazon. That was the old one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Sophie Saga. You can ask questions whenever you want. This is going to be, a product research session, but at any point, just ask questions. I'll try and answer them as best I can as I'm going through. Hey, Martin.
If you guys, actually, we haven't got people on Instagram just yet. I'm just going live now. But yeah, okay. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, just shoot them over now. We'll do a little Q&A now, just while we're waiting for everybody to join, and then we'll kick it off. Yes, lads. Just a quick one. Do you have to brand a product when you first get started? Can you sell it as generic? I wouldn't recommend that. No. When you first start off, your product listing is incredibly important in terms of your brand name and your visual branding. Also, there's a lot of benefits when you register your brand with brand registration. What's it called? Brand registry.
Yeah.
When you do that, you get a lot of things. Like you get A+ content. So, for example, if you look at like Apple products, you can see an example of like the A+ content. Down at the bottom, you can put videos on your listing, all types of stuff. No, these haven't actually got it on here. Let's see if this one's got it on here. Neo, you've not missed very much yet, mate. We've not really dived into anything yet. We're talking about brand registry. So, I mean, this is A+, but this is not A+ premium. But yeah, if you register your brand, you can do stuff like this. So it's always worth doing it. You should start out with the strongest possibility of that product being a success, which is always branding it up properly. Do you think UK wholesale arbitrage is still a good idea? Been looking for a product for months. I'm not a huge fan of wholesale or arbitrage. I think it's wholesale, I think, is a bit more expensive to get into than online arbitrage. Online arbitrage is a good way. Maybe if you've got a couple of £1,000 and you want to, just start out, I think it's a great way to get into e-commerce. But you can't sell the business. You can't sell a wholesale or an online arbitrage business, unfortunately. Yeah, that's the main thing for me that holds it back. You want to get approval, brand registered versus brand approval. I just want to register the brand. So Grant, you can as soon as you apply for your trademark, you can then get your brand registry underway. All you need to do is basically prove to Amazon that you've registered for your trademark, and they will give you all of the benefits of brand registry, like the A+ and everything else. It's super easy to do. No worries, Yvonne.
Alex, I don't know if you can do for some reason the Instagram thing's not working for me.
What do I need to do then?
I don't know if it says go live for you in the corner. If not, you just continue and I'll do the tech behind the scenes. Try and get those numbers up even higher.
All right. Okay, sweet. Let's kick it off. Right. So we're doing product research with Helium 10, right? There's a lot of questions. Helium 10, Jungle Scout. We've used Helium 10 for like 3 years now. There's a discount code in the video description. We do get an affiliate fee for it. We get a few dollars if you sign up, but that's not why we're pushing it. We're pushing it because we genuinely use it every single day in our Amazon business, and it's great. So Helium 10 is a great way to just start your product research, right? It's not going to find the products for you. You've got to be creative when you're looking at your products, but this is just a great way to speed everything up. So usually what I do is I will just look at a few different categories. I will mix it up. I really like baby. I like, I was going to say I might include handmade, but no, that'd be stupid. Home and kitchen and dining, I'm going to avoid actually. Office products, patio, lawn and garden, pet supplies. We've got a pet brand, so we love pet supplies. I'm going to do sports and outdoors as well. So in terms of the filters, a lot of people kind of obsess over the filters. You can play around with these things, right? There's a few main things that I like to do every single time. The first one is review count. So many people on YouTube will tell you to put in 300 reviews here. And if they do that, go to their channel, unsubscribe, and subscribe to our channel, because they don't know what they're talking about. And I'll go into this a little bit further on, but don't cap by the number of reviews. Now, the reviews do matter. If you look at a niche and everybody has got 10,000 reviews, you're probably going to struggle, but you shouldn't be capping your search by looking at the reviews. One that you can use to cap is review rating. If you look at a niche and everybody has got 4.7 out of 5, that means the customers are super, super happy with that product. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but that's just something that you want to take into consideration. But I'm not going to put anything on there either today. We're going to keep it wide open. The price, this is another big one. A lot of people say between $25 and $35. That's because a lot of people are idiots. So don't listen to those people. Your price, we like to go in nice and high. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put minimum 45 and I'm not going to put a maximum. The higher your price relative to your Amazon fee. If your product is $45 and your Amazon fees are only $12, that gives you so much room. But if your price is $45 and your Amazon fees are $30, then you're going to really struggle. So we like higher ticket products. It doesn't mean that you can't sell lower ticket products. We've just launched a product and it's $17.99 right now. And it's killing it. It's making $200 a day in profit. But you have to understand your Amazon fees. You have to understand the cost of landing that product in Amazon. It only costs us about $2.20 to sell an $18 product. And it's a very small product. So the Amazon fees are very, very low. So I do like to go above 45 though, just for the sake of this. So monthly revenue, I'm going to cap it at 80,000, right? You can play around with this. If you've only got $10,000, you don't want to be going into a niche that's too big. You want to make sure that you're looking at niches that are right for your budget. Also, I'm going to be looking at the American market today. But a good tip, anything that you look at in the American market, if it's too big for your budget, go and look in the UK, go and look in Germany, go and look in Spain. Those are the markets. There's a lot of opportunity in there. So the minimum that I'm going to put in minimum 7,000 to about 80,000. We're just going to look at the concepts today, so the numbers don't really matter too much. Shipping size, I'm going to keep it under oversize. It doesn't mean that you can't do small oversize, but it's a bit more difficult with the shipping. You're kind of at mercy if the shipping goes up a lot, but it doesn't mean that you can't do it again. But for the sake of today, I'm just gonna keep it that. I'm gonna keep the fulfillment to FBA. Actually, I'm also going to include FBM because there's some opportunities there sometimes. The variation count, this one is quite important, and this is a great filter, right? The reason this one's good is because you don't want to be looking at products where there's like 20 different size variations or color variations, because as a beginner, that's going to be very, very difficult for you to do. It's going to, if you have to launch 6 different sizes, imagine you're selling shoes and you've got to have 10 different sizes. It's so difficult. So I like to cap that at like 4. I don't really want to be finding stuff that's got, crazy number of variations. Let me have a look. Did I go through everything? Right. Let's just kick it off. Search. Now, remember, all we're doing here is we're finding stuff that looks interesting, and then we're going to go and explore a little bit further on the actual niche on Amazon. Now, the first one that's just caught my eye is this one here. It's a pet product. This is a net feeder for horses. Whenever we're doing research, you've got to remember it's not just product research. You are researching the niches. So I'm thinking, all right, what niche is this? This is a product for people that have got horses. They make these nets that you can put the hay in there. So what I want to do is I want to find the overall niche here, right? I'm not just looking at this one individual product, because I'm thinking, well, maybe I want to create a brand where I sell products for horses. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to come down to the keywords bit. And this is going to let me see all of the keywords that this product ranks for organically. Now, I've just seen a bit of a problem. It's loading up the UK market for some reason. So I'm going to go and get the ASIN, which is from here. And then if it doesn't load it up, I'm going to do it manually. Whilst that's happening, I'm going to find the main keyword, which is probably this. So, hay net feeder for horses. Hay net feeder for horses. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find like the overall niche here, right? And straight away, I'm seeing something not that great, that this first one is only $8. It's probably sold by Amazon, which it looks like it is, because whenever you see a product that's super cheap, it's usually sold by Amazon because they don't have to play by the same rules as us. But another one that's interesting that I'm seeing is this bad boy. Yeah, look at this. This is $100. $100 for this big, ugly mama. So, I mean, the listing is not bad. So I'm going to see, this is doing about $20,000 a month, but look at the review rating. I don't know about you, but I smell an opportunity here, people, because we're seeing a lot of people complain about this product, but they're still buying it. So,
and also look at the state of that. Their brand story still says Merry Christmas. Hello.
Wow, come on. That's just laziness. Fire whoever does your Amazon listings. So dangerous for horses with shoes. That's not great. So let's have a look what the negative reviews are.
What? Hooves or shoes?
Shoes. Okay, there's only okay. So there's only 23 reviews because it's quite a new product. So there's not that much information on what is wrong with it. This just says dangerous for horses with shoes. But I mean, already what I'm thinking here is like, obviously, you could create a brand around products that people that have horses, they buy. And look how simple this is. It's $100. I'm going to check out what the actual Amazon fees are. I can't actually see them. Where are the Amazon fees?
Yeah, if you go into the calculator. Just one thing, Alex, I don't know if you mentioned this as well, just with this type of niche. The thing that I kind of like about it is it's a bit of a passion product, isn't it? So people can be very passionate about their horses, pets, hobbies, whatever. So they're therefore often willing to pay a bit more for quality, as opposed to just going on Amazon and just being like, I'm just going to get the cheapest possible. So that was another thing that I quite like about this niche, I reckon.
And if you own a horse, usually you're proper middle class and quite wealthy. Because
don't start offending the viewers again.
Look, nobody. When I was growing up, nobody I knew had a horse. Let me put it that way.
Or donkey.
Not even that. So what we're going to do, we're going to come over to Alibaba, right? Because we want to look now, like roughly what are we going to be paying for this? Because, you know, we've seen this product doing quite well. We want to kind of, you know, we want to kind of know what sort of price are we going to be paying. But first of all, actually, I'm just going to come back to this because I want to see kind of what else we're going to be competing against. So they all look kind of similar, don't they? Their hero images are not that great. But I want to see what we're going to be competing against. So that main keyword was hay net feeder for horses. Let's come across. So remember, we were selling it for about $100. I think the Amazon fees were about $30. So that's a good sign, because if your Amazon fees are around 1/3 of the sales price, that's good. That leaves you enough room to land the product, to do your PPC. And this is quite a good sign as well, right? Because what you don't want to see is, you don't want to see tons of the product that you're looking for, because that means so many people are searching for it. There's a lot of manufacturers for it. So it's actually quite a good thing if you find something, you know, where there's not hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people selling it, because it means that it's not super, super popular just yet. I mean, all it is this netting, right? I mean, it looks like you can get some of this stuff for around $10. Like, just to come back to here, one of the great things about using Helium 10 is you can very, very quickly kind of see what the rough profit margin is going to be. So if you come down to the profitability calculator, you can see, right, that if we put in the freight cost, I think, what was the freight cost at the minute, Jan? It was about 205.
Yeah, to the UK. Yeah.
What's that then? What about
about 240, 250?
About 240. So what you can do is, if you get the cubic meter, if you get the per cubic meter freight cost and you put it in here, then you can kind of estimate roughly what your profit margin is going to be, right? So what this is basically saying, that if we sell this for $100, if we get it to Amazon, if we pay $20 per unit, and then we're paying $240 per cubic meter of shipping, which would be about $8, then we're landing it for probably, you know, 28 into Amazon. And then roughly we're going to be getting about 140% and about 40% profit margin. So 140% ROI. So that's pretty healthy. But what we would need to see is like what the overall niche is, because this is just this one product. And I'm not sure it was loading. Okay, it was loading the actual keywords. So what we want to do is we want to come back and we want to filter these so we can see organically. I want to see positions 1 till 12, because that's going to kind of show me where this product is ranking. Actually, I'm going to do 15. This shows us where the product ranks organically, because we need to really understand what people are searching to, you know, to find this product. So hay bales. So it looks like people are searching wider keywords. Like, they're not really searching for like horse, bale, or anything like that. So maybe people are just buying this because they're searching for something slightly different. Or maybe it just ranks for that keyword. That's a bit odd. It doesn't actually appear. Maybe it's just picked that up. But so basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find what keywords this product ranks for, which is what's a bit weird, because I can't actually see any horse-related keywords. But yeah, I'm going to go back to that main page and I'm going to search. So hay bale net. Hay bale net. Another good thing about Helium 10 is it pulls up all of this data here. So you can see all of this stuff, right? It's a really good way of seeing like other keywords, like hay net, for example. So you can see, if you click on this, you can see all of the search volume going up and down over time. And this is a great way of finding other niches, right? So this probably is a similar niche. Maybe not everybody maybe uses these just for horses. But like this one here is $13. It's a lot lower ticket. I'm going to pull up Helium 10 and just kind of see what the overall revenue is. And then I'm going to jump back, because we've been on this one for a while. But how can I get Amazon to ship if I'm storing it myself? No, Vicky, you won't be storing it yourself. You will be sending it into Amazon's warehouse, and then they'll do all of the shipping, everything else for you. That's the beauty of Amazon FBA. You don't have to store anything. So these are quite interesting. I've seen these before. So these are quite interesting. This is, I think this is only used for horses as well, but so this is like a slow feeder for horses. So already if you're watching this, right, you can start to see we could create a brand around products that people, horse owners are going to buy, because you can see all these other products, right, that people might buy, like, nylon straps, whatever it is. So this one is about $55. It's another good, another good price point. The reviews seem okay. Bad quality. So if you were reading a lot of reviews like this, then you might start to think, well, how can I improve this product? Like, can I make this stronger? Can I use a different material so that the horse is not going to just chew holes in it? And then on the listing, you can show this picture, and you can then show yours and say that yours is 10 times stronger or whatever if you use a different material. Because obviously horses have got some pretty big teeth, right? So they're going to be chewing through this like nobody's business. So this is doing about $12,000. So in order to launch and compete with this guy, like, you wouldn't need a ton of money. Look at the listing. It's not very good. Looks pretty cheap. So I would be confident that we could launch this product very, very similar, and we could outdo these guys. I would look at the Amazon fees. Another thing with this as well is, depending on how you package this product, you can probably save quite a lot of money, because you could pack this really, really small. You could pack it really, really small. So the Amazon fees are going to be about $14 in total. You've got about $8 for the referral fee, and you've got about $6 for the FBA fee. So that's really good. That means the overall fees are relatively low compared to the actual price of the product. The important thing is to build the supply chain. As someone living in Turkey, we can produce the quality that you have shown. There you go. See, you found someone in Turkey. There you go. Neil's question about if our brand gets rejected after the 8 months, meaning you have already listed your product and you've been selling with brand registry. I'm not sure what you mean. Elias, this one is patented. That is a very good point, Elias. That is a very, very good point, sir.
Where's he say that? Has he spotted that in the listing?
Yeah, maybe he's spotted it. Yeah, that's a great point. But the pattern on this is probably on, I don't know, maybe the straps or something like that. I reckon there's probably a way you could get around it. But yeah, that is a very, very good point. Everything that you look at, you're gonna have to look and see whether or not it's patented. I am going to keep going. I'm going to keep looking at some other stuff. Let's have a look.
Yeah, he's a hay bale aficionado, design patent.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you change the design, I don't know how much you could change it.
Emily, that's a good question. You've kind of just got to judge based on the top sellers, right? There's a lot of the times there are different types of products. You've really got to look at like who is ranking the best in the top 4 spots, because they're the people that you're really competing against. And you've got to really think about the customer. Like, what does the customer really, really care about? Does the customer care about the ones that are bigger, smaller, whatever? You've always got to be thinking about the customer. This is an interesting product. This is some sort of weird pet shampoo. I would hazard a guess that people are searching directly for this brand. The reason being is because it's only got one listing image, and it's still doing about $17,000. But the beauty of this type of product is this is a product that people, if they like it, they're going to buy this every single month. Now, if you watch one of my recent YouTube videos where I talked about how we're taking our brand to 8 figures, this is part of the plan. We're selling products that people buy every single month, because then you get what's called recurring revenue. And if you want to sell your brand at some point, then recurring revenue is the holy grail, because that gives the buyers top confidence in that they're going to buy it, and it's going to be a secure business for them to grow and maintain and make money from. So yeah, it looks like this is getting a lot of branded search. Top Performance, Pet Fresh. It must be like a known brand. This is a big niche, this sort of, emerging shampoos and stuff like that for dogs. But this is a good example, right, of you might see this product in the US and you might think, well, these are all doing big, big numbers. I can never compete. Go and have a look in Spain, or go and have a look in Italy, or in the UK, where these markets are much smaller, where you don't need as big of a budget to get started. There can be a lot of opportunity there. Look at this one. This is a crossbody. It's only doing 95 sales. Crossbody diaper clutch diaper bag. I'm gonna have a look at this. I've seen some people show me this sort of product before. One of the things I'm sometimes a little bit hesitant with products like this is they can be very, very subjective, as in, you know, you've got to understand what people like in terms of taste. So you could launch one of these with a very fancy design and you think it looks amazing, and then other people hate it, and it doesn't really go very well. So I'm going to look at a diaper clutch, I think is the keyword. So all the time we're finding the product on Helium 10, and then we're finding the niche just by searching on Amazon. So you can see here, right? Diaper clutch, 1,600 searches. So it's not a massive, massive niche. The first thing I want to do is I want to look at the search volume, because we want to see that this thing over time is trending upwards. It's not, it's trending down. So for some reason, it was probably, I don't know why it was so popular back then.
Is that the right keyword, Al?
Yeah, maybe not. Let's have a look.
I don't think I would ever call it a diaper clutch bag.
Well, you're a parent now, aren't you? So
yeah, I'd just say a nappy bag, probably.
A nappy.
That kind of does look a little bit different to a nappy bag. It looks a bit smaller, a bit trendier for when you're out and about.
Yeah. One good tip with Helium 10 here is if you click on this little box, it will make all of the advertisements disappear. What you'll often see as well is you'll see products like this that are mixed in. This one is ranking because I guess it is still a clutch bag, actually, but it's just quite a cleverly designed one, right? It's very, very small.
But that's the thing, isn't it, about this type of niche? Like, as you say, you type in one thing and you get that many different options. And then people are kind of like, oh, they'll click on and then go, that looks okay. And then they'll click onto this one and go, oh, this looks better. And then that's it. That last person's lost out.
Yeah. And I think this kind of price point as well, the other thing is like people, they don't do that much shopping around, I don't think. Like they'll, like you said, they'll view a couple and then they'll probably just go with this, whatever. But I mean, this one's only doing 18,000. It's got 2,000 reviews, but as you can kind of see that this niche has not got that great of demand. You've got some random sort of stuff mixed in there, like this diaper organizer. I mean, this is doing $10,000. This is not going to be the easiest thing to compete against, though, because this looks like quite a good listing to me. Like, this looks good. For only $16, it's very simple, because you've always got to be thinking about the people that you're competing against. You've really got to think, when you look at the top sellers in whatever niche you're looking at, like, how easy is it that I'm going to be able to convince a customer to buy mine versus this other person? Because these guys are probably always going to beat you on price if they're Chinese. So that's the sort of thing that you need to be looking at. But I'm going to jump back onto Helium 10. Let's see if we can find something interesting. Safety kit. That's 175 bucks. Let's have a look at this. I keep meaning to do a first aid qualification, because I realized if somebody starts choking on me, I don't know what to do. I got a dog recently, and you saw me. I thought he was choking, didn't I, Johnson? And I
and you just stood and stared at him and went, no,
no. So, all right, let's have a look at this. Marine safety kit, 4.6. One thing that I'm always looking at is the review rating. It's really important, because you want to find stuff where the reviews are shit. Because, like, if I'm looking for one of these and it's got a good listing, it's got 264 reviews, and the reviews are good, the chances are that I'm probably just going to buy this one. So again, this is doing about 12,000 bucks. And again, always be thinking about, like, what's behind this product. Is it just a single product that you can launch, or can you launch a brand? Like, what are people? I mean, also look at this. This is made in the USA, which is going to be difficult to compete with. But do people really care about made in the USA if it's a product like this? I don't really think they do.
Do you know what I don't know, because it's to do with safety.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true.
That's actually like an angle you could really nail, isn't it? Just being like made in the US, US quality control, safety first, something like that.
Yeah. So Mark said, how can you show the value proposition in the main image of a product without a package? So Mark, it's a good question. Let me give you an example of a brand that does hero images very well. Is it Zule Kitchen? Here we go. Kitchen. Oh God. Kitchen. Oh man, I'm having a nightmare. Zule Kitchen. It's just one word. Right. So this brand does a really good job of the hero images, Mark. So what you can see here is they're a little bit sneaky. So you see on this box here how they've got lifetime warranty. Like they shouldn't really do that. That's a bit cheeky. But what it means is that they really stand out. And if you look at all of their images, they do this on all of them. They lifetime warranty.
That's very cheeky, but yeah.
Very cheeky indeed. But look, Amazon is about gaining little edges. Wherever you can gain an edge, you've got to try and do it. Look at this. They put a little tag on there, lifetime warranty. Milk frother. This is a different brand, but you can see how they do it. They shouldn't really get away with doing that because it's not actually within the terms and conditions. But this is a way where you need to get very creative with your hero images, because you've got to somehow stand out, because people are going to just click and buy based on price otherwise. So is it easy to sell in the UK and Canada? I'm only in the US right now. Do you mind telling us how to sell in the other two places? So is it easy? It's not easy, but it's not difficult. Like, it's doable. You can, like, if you're in the US and you want to sell in the UK, you're going to have to register a company there. You're going to have to, VAT registration and all that stuff. I can't go into the whole thing right now because it would take up the whole session, but it's not difficult and it's worth doing.
But I think there's just a few more hoops to jump through, but I think that's what you should find, appealing, because most people can't be bothered with that. They'll just say, it's too difficult. That's one of the reasons why I chose to launch my products in a specific category, because I knew you had to give a load of safety documentation and whatnot. I was like, chances are most beginners won't be bothered. So
exactly.
See that as an opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Sarthak asked, do you ever localize the listing? Yes, you should always localize the listing. Always update the copy so that it's local to the market that you're selling in. That's a really good question. It's very important, yeah, because you don't want to be using the wrong keywords. Like in the UK, we say the car boot. In the US, you say some weird word like trunk or something like that. So, yeah, you've always got to do that. So this one is an interesting one that I looked at before. It's not a very big. So boat safety kit, Coast Guard approved. It's only got 800 searches or so, but you can see there's another one here, 600. This product ranks 2nd, 4th, and 6th organically. So I would assume this one is probably the most relevant keyword for this. But this is not a massive niche. There's not a massive amount of demand. But what you can actually see right here, this is what's interesting about keywords like this, right? It's a very specific, what we call long tail keyword. So boat safety kit, Coast Guard approved. So what you can actually see is that there's only really a few sort of people, and none of them really say Coast Guard approved. If you could get one that was definitely Coast Guard approved, what you could do is like we saw with Zule Kitchen, you could have a tag that said Coast Guard approved. That would really stand out to people that are searching this keyword. Now, it's not a massive keyword, so it's not like you're going to get 100 sales a day off of it. But it's an example of finding very specific keywords that help you create a product that people are going to be very sort of interested in. So what was interesting though was I'm going to go back to boat safety kit and I'm just going to search for that and I want to see what comes up. So not that much really. Boat accessories, no, that's too broad. Boat fire extinguisher. I'm actually going to look at this. So this is a fire extinguisher for boats. The top seller is Amazon. That's going to be very difficult to compete with, which you've always got to bear in mind. What is this one? Marine fire extinguisher for boats. I'm going to have a look at this one. So this one, you're probably going to have to have some sort of, you know, certificates or something to, you know, to launch a product like this, but it doesn't make it impossible at all, right? Sometimes those types of things that you need certificates for, they can be a good thing to sell because other people won't go to the trouble of doing that. Like the harder it is to sell a product, generally the easier, the better it is when you can eventually sell that product. Is it feasible to set up a seller account in Nigeria that sells in the US? Yeah, for sure. You would need to open probably a US LLC and a US bank account. But yeah, I'm sure you could do it. Do you recommend trademarking your brand and products? Do you know roughly how much this costs? Nicole, yes, we do. It's always good to get your trademark registered. As soon as you do that, you can get brand registry. So that means you can do stuff like this. Look at this. Wow. So yeah, it costs. There's a way that you can do it yourself and it's a bit cheaper, but you can use a company called Trademark Angel. I think it's about $700 to do it in the US, but don't quote me on that, but that's about how much it is, I think. So one thing that I wanted to go over on the live stream today, which I've not talked about before, is this website called Exploding Topics. Now you're getting a bit of a saucy premiere here because I was going to do a YouTube video on this, but then I thought I'd mention it today. So think yourselves very lucky. 66 people are going to get their minds blown by what I'm about to unveil. If there was any sound effects, we'd do a drum roll. No, it's not that good. It is pretty good though. So this is a website that I came across recently, and I absolutely love it. So you might have seen in some of my videos in the past, I've talked about trending products, and I've talked about how you shouldn't really go into niches that are, you know, just trending out of nowhere. But as time has gone on and I've become a bit of an old man, I've changed in my ways a little bit, and I'm actually starting to see the light in that sometimes this can be a good thing. You've got to be very careful when you're looking at trending topics or trending niches that it's not a flash in the pan. But if you can find niches that are emerging and you can be early to that market, you know, you can do some great things. There's some great examples of this in like the supplements space. I don't know if you've seen a brand called Bloom. So the health and wellness space is obviously just, you know, getting crazy popular. This brand is going to be $1 billion brand, right? And it's so unbelievably simple. It's so unbelievably simple. And this is an example of like 4 or 5 years ago, this type of product just didn't exist. Nobody was using this sort of stuff, right? It's for your digestion. It's whatever. I mean, first of all, look at this listing. Look how amazing this looks. So when people are talking about, do you need to, they're asking, so, you know, some people are asking early on in the stream, you know, should you brand your products? Yes. And this is the reason why, because look how amazing this looks. I have great guts and even I want to buy this. Look at it. I mean, it just looks amazing. But this is a great example, right, of this niche probably didn't exist 2-3 years ago, or if it did, it was very, very like immature as a market, as a niche. What I'm going to show you now is, look, Bloom Nutrition Greens and Superfood. Look at the search volume. Let's have a look at this over the past 5 years. Look at this. This is wild. So at the beginning of 2021, so what's that? 3 years ago, less than 2.5 years ago, there was only 400 people searching for this product every single month. And that's because it had only just kicked off. And then less than 3 years later, there's 134,000 people searching for this product every single month. So this shows you how powerful it is to get in early on something like this. Now, look, most people watching this stream, they're not going to be able to launch products like this Bloom product. Where has it gone? Bloody lost it. Where did it go? Oh, it was here, wasn't it? So you're not going to be able to launch this stuff, right? But you can always be looking at the smaller niches, the smaller markets. There was a product that I found earlier on, Blue Lotus Tea. So look at this over the past 5 years, right? So this is another thing, another type of product that is getting popular because it's, you know, there's a huge trend around health and well-being and all this sort of stuff. So what this website does is it allows you to see these things that are trending like this. And then you might search for this Blue Lotus tea. You might search for this on Amazon, right? And you see that it's massive. It's way too big. You're never going to be able to launch this type of product. But then what you can do is you can go to the smaller markets. Now, this one is the top seller, this Blue Lotus chai. This is probably getting a lot of branded search. People probably know about this brand. Maybe it's been around for a few years, whatever it is, right? But this type of product, if you can sell stuff like this and you can get these types of products to market and you can get people buying them every single month, then you're building a brand that has got protection against Chinese sellers. It's got a lot of value if somebody wants to buy it. And look, this niche actually isn't that big. So the top seller is doing about 120,000. I'm going to see if they've got a bunch of branded search. But the amazing thing about this sort of stuff is you can probably source this. I don't know whether this could be sourced in the US. It might be something that's grown overseas and then imported into the US. But like, I'm not that in love with the branding. I don't think it looks that great. But what I want to see is, I want to see what the keywords are that people are searching here. And because this is taking so long to load, it means that it's been around for fucking ages. Pardon my French. So look, it's been so this matches what you see on Exploding Topics, right? Because it wasn't really selling very much a few years ago. Like, not too bad, but not amazing. And then over time, it's got better and better. The other thing is that you can see is the price that it's selling at is actually very, very stable. It's actually gone up slightly. Like, it was $18.99 and now it's around $16, but that's a good sign. So what I want to see is I want to see what it ranks for. But this is a great example. These are the types of products that we're looking at now. We're looking at consumable products that you can source outside of China, that you can build a brand around, and you can get filthy, filthy rich. And then you don't have to do live streams on YouTube anymore. I'm just kidding. I'll always do them. I love them. I actually do love them. It's great fun. So look, this is the bigger one, chai tea. So this is the big niche, is chai tea. And then you have these smaller niches, which is the Blue Lotus chai. I don't know whether this is the brand name or whether or not this is different. But chai tea is obviously going to be massive, right? But also, you know, there could be some opportunity in here. Like, you know, you're competing against all these guys. This is going to be very difficult. Look at the, you know, the reviews. Like, when everybody's got, you know, like I said before, reviews are not everything. But you can see some brands like this. So this is a chai mix. I'm going to have a look at this one because this is interesting. So this is $14. I guarantee this is super cheap to produce. It's not going to be super expensive. Look at this. The listing is crap. Like, that's crap. I'm sorry. Whoever does the branding here. Okay, this is not too bad. It's a bit better. But this, guys, is where the value is with these types of products. Look at this box down here. Save and subscribe. This is what you want with any e-commerce business. You want people to save and subscribe, and you want them to buy it every single month. So this is a different. So this is Chamberlain. It's a new kind of coffee. It looks like it's Emma Chamberlain's. That's interesting. That's why it's called this.
Who is she?
I don't actually know what she does. Is she an actress or something?
Is she an influencer?
She's semi-famous.
Probably why then, isn't it? I mean, it's not selling that well.
It's not doing that well. It's probably only making sales just through the actual Copper Cow Coffee. That's interesting. Look at that. 6,000 searches. That's probably a big brand, isn't it? Copper Cow Coffee. Look at that though. Why is it got? Is it new? Copper Cow Coffee. That's a mouthful, isn't it? That. Try and say that after 3 pints. Copper Cow Coffee. Okay, it's Vietnamese. Debut. So this is an example, right? This woman probably launched this on Instagram, and then she probably put it on Amazon. But then what happens is you get people searching for it on Amazon, and this again is how you can compete with Chinese sellers and stuff like that, right? Because if you get people searching your brand name, then you are winning. That's when you've got a real brand. When people search for your brand name specifically, that's when you're onto a winner. You can see here, it wasn't doing that well over the years. It's just sort of gradually increased. I'm going to open up and have a look at some questions. Hello, guys. I'm setting up a company in Greece and I want to sell in the US. Do I need to open a company also in the US? You can just use your Greek company, but it's probably easier to open an LLC. It's not that difficult for you to do that, and then you could have a company in Greece as well. I would speak to an accountant in your country. Honestly, is the best way to do it.
You're going to get a ton of benefits from incorporating in the US as well. Like you can borrow because you're a US company. Is it easier to get insurance as well, Alex? Because you guys opened an LLC.
That is true. Yeah, it's our insurance because we're a UK company selling in the US is bloody expensive. So it is actually better if you're a US based company. Plus, it's better if you want to get financing within the US as well. So you're probably right. It's better to you can open an LLC with a company called First Base. It's firstbase.io. I think firstbase.io, and I think it's about $200, and they'll help you open an LLC. Melius, is this a terrible idea? Let's say I'm from country X. I don't know what country that is, but just kidding. And kind of product agnostic, but would rather export from my country to Amazon US and not source from China. I'm not sure what you mean there, but would rather export from my country to Amazon US. I mean, it depends on the product. What I think you mean is, do you mean if you can source tea, for example, in your country?
Yeah.
Of course you can do that. Like, we know people that sell consumable products that they source from, for example, in Italy. They send it from Italy to the US, and customers love it because it's made in Italy. And you know what I mean? Like that's a big thing. So there's a lot of benefits to sourcing outside of China for sure. Mario, what's the difference between Alibaba and 1688? So 1688 is the Chinese version of Alibaba. So it's all in Chinese. The difference is this, where Alibaba is for Western people to source products. 1688 is like the Chinese version of it. If you know somebody that can speak Chinese, this can actually be a great place for you to source products because you can get better prices on here. The difficult thing is it's all in Chinese, as you can see. But this is where if you're a Chinese person, you would come here, but you can hire someone who's Chinese to do the research for you and message people. And that's actually a good little hack. How do you go around patents? I found a great product, but the original one was patented in Germany, Europe. Can I sell something similar in the UK? I mean, I wouldn't want to be selling a product that I know is patented in a different territory. I think you're kind of asking for trouble, even if it's not patented in there. I don't know what you think about that, Jan, but for me, if I see a patent on a product, I would just rather not have the headache of potentially being stung with it.
There's so many products out there. It's just easier, isn't it, to find one that's not?
Yeah. So to go back to the chai tea, where was it? Chai tea, copper cow, blue lotus thai, masala chai. So teas are becoming very, very popular. You can see there's a lot of brand names in here. But perhaps you can find a smaller niche within here, and you can launch something around that. But that's just it's an option for you if you don't want to just go down the traditional route of getting stuff from China, which can work. Like most of our products are sourced in China. It's a great place to source products. The Chinese are amazing. They can do so many great things with products. And there's a misconception that the products from China are cheap. It's not true. Some of the biggest brands in the world with the highest quality products sourced in China. Like a lot of iPhone parts are made in China and then put together in other places. So you've got stuff like you've got some really interesting sort of trending products on this website. So I like to just kind of have a look through here. So permanent jewelry. This is an interesting one. Let's have a look at this. I don't know what this is, but it absolutely exploded at the end of 2022. So jewelry that is designed to be worn permanently, such as tattoos or piercings. How can you have permanent jewelry? That is weird. So let's have a look at this one anyway. Now, look, a lot of this stuff might not be... This is not permanent jewelry, is it? But let's have a look and see if we search permanent. I always spell permanent wrong. Permanent. All right, so let's have a look at this. Let's have a look if this matches what that other data said. It does. Look at that. Boom. 783, 6,000. Now, this sort of stuff, right? This can be heavily influenced. This can be heavily influenced by things like TikTok. So people will see stuff like this on TikTok, and then they will come to Amazon and they will search for it on Amazon. So this is the sort of stuff that you can, start to keep your finger on the pulse of. But this is a jewelry making kit, but this is permanent jewelry. But what is permanent jewelry? Because you just don't take it off?
Isn't permanent jewelry like, when you have underskin piercings and stuff? That would be my guess.
I'm not sure, but what I'm seeing is like none of these products are really that
permanent.
Are they? They're not. Like, look, well, this is all arts and crafts stuff.
Yeah, I would guess it's where it's underskin stuff.
I mean, this is pretty. I mean, if somebody wants to move quickly on this, you're going to make $1 million. Like, there's not actually any. What is it? I mean, if we search that just on Google, what comes up? Because there's nobody actually selling like what that is. So, what is a permanent jewelry kit? Permanent. I mean, or is it it jewelry that you can't?
Is it to do with it being like you meant, like a friendship bracelet or something?
But you can't take it off.
I don't know. We're not the right market, clearly, are we? Does anyone in the comments know what permanent jewelry is?
It's welded. There you go. It's welded together. Now this is cool, man. This is awesome.
Welded to you.
Yeah, it's like it's not under your skin. You absolute wrong'un. That would be weird.
So it's a necklace you can't take off, like a
I guess it's like a commitment, isn't it? To like to say that you're never going to take it off. But let's have a look at what people are doing. But I mean, if you think about this, right, as a product, if this is something that's taken off on TikTok, on social media, if you can create a brand around this, you can really capitalize on this type of trend. Now, it might be something that dies out and it loses sort of interest. But like when you search this keyword, right, like one of the top ones is a soldering kit. It's not even what people are looking for. So like nobody is actually meeting what this search is, because it's probably because it's come out of nowhere. This is the closest thing to it. But like, is this even... I think this is just it doesn't mention permanent anywhere, does it? Like, look at, I mean, it's just, I've never seen worse keyword stuffing than that. But I mean, you know what, guys, we might have just found an absolute gold mine of a niche here, because nobody is actually doing this. Nobody's actually doing permanent jewelry kits. They're just doing random. It's just all this stuff. So let's have a look. If we search on Alibaba, let's see what comes up. And now you have to bear in mind, right, that if this niche is kind of trending so much, then it's going to look very, very different in 6 months' time. But that doesn't mean that you can't get there early. And also, look at this. Like, there's not really like anything. Again, there's nothing on here. It seems like this is very, very early, and it would make sense because it's only just started taking off. I would imagine that something has happened maybe on TikTok. If we have a look, right, you're probably going to see some stuff on TikTok for this. TikTok shop is so cheap. They weld it for you in the shop. It's a trend now for sisters or best friends to do it together. There you go. So look at this.
We can get one out.
We are sisters. I mean, it's not that big on TikTok, is it? I wonder why it's just burst out of nowhere.
July, yeah. I mean, some of that looks... Yeah, they're not huge, are they?
It's not like it's got huge, but yeah. But there you go. I mean, jewelry that's designed such as tattoos or piercing. There you go. There's an example of a trending topic. Let's have a look at some other stuff. Beet gummies. Man, let's have a look at this. Right. This is going to be a good little case study for... I mean, look at this, man. If that don't get you excited about Amazon FBA, what does? What does? That just drives me wild, that hockey stick. What are beet gummies? Why are they so interesting? Let's have a look. And again, right, the US market for this is going to be, the US market is always going to be super crowded for stuff like this. But the reason that we do all of the research in the US market is because if it's popular in the US market, it's probably just going to be like 1/10 of the size in these other markets. So beetroot gummies, let's have a look, right? I mean, the one thing for me that really stands out here, right, is this all looks just fucking terrible and boring, man. It looks so boring. Review-wise, like I know I'm a big advocate of kind of ignoring the reviews, but I think reviews for edible products is a bit different. And if everybody on the top row there has got 20,000 reviews, you can't ignore that. Like that's obviously not going to. But look at this. This is right. This is not a massive niche. It's pretty good in terms of the size of it. You've got products like this, less than 1,000 reviews, so it's not been around that long. The brand's not amazing looking. It doesn't look too bad. Don't know who that fella is. Wow, look at that. Your health, your success. So this is the sort of product, though, again, right? If you get people to buy this every single month, you could see where this is sourced. You could see where these guys are getting this from. Maybe it's from China. I'm not really actually sure. But if you can find suppliers for this in the US, I guarantee it. I don't know where it's going to be from, but what I would do if I was looking to launch this, if I didn't have a massive budget, what I would do is I would go to the UK market and I would have a look at that. So let's have a look. Beetroot gummies, beetroot gummies. How do you tell if it ain't a massive niche again? Just look at the demand, mate. Look at the top sellers. I mean, if the top sellers are doing hundreds of thousands of dollars, then it's going to be difficult. You know, look at this, right? Beetroot gummies. There's probably not much demand in the UK for this because I can't really see any products that exist. Beetroot is actually very beneficial for athletes. Yeah, but it tastes like dirt. I absolutely hate the stuff. So look at this, right? In the UK, you know what, right? We've just found two niches here. If somebody tonight doesn't go away from this launching a product, I'm never doing a live again. Just kidding. But like, look at this, right? So, I mean, it's only got 51 searches a month, which is not great. But these guys are doing £8,000 a month with 66 reviews, meaning it's very, very new. The listing's not too bad, right? It's made in the
generic,
UK.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's very generic. Don't really look much. Let's see what they rank
on the made in the UK as well.
Yeah, it's so stupid when they're made in the UK and they don't really make it very obvious. But what you'll see here is, I mean, it might just because there's not really any demand, but it looks like there's demand for beetroot capsules, but not beetroot gummies. Now, what this might be, quite often the UK market is a bit behind the US market. These big brands emerge in the US and then they don't really get to the UK until a bit later because we're a bit behind the times sometimes with, you know, catching up on stuff. So I'm going to do positions 1 to 15 organically. So beetroot capsules. So here we go, right? You might be able to get away with ranking for beetroot capsules if you launch beetroot gummies. Because this is one thing that I've noticed with a lot of supplements lately is they're starting to move across the gummies, like magnesium gummies, creatine gummies. So beetroot capsules might be something. I mean, look at that again. You know, this is what you want to see. You want to see more demand every year. I might launch some beetroot gummies and just do it. I might just do it for the YouTube channel. So look at this, right? So nobody is selling beetroot gummies. Nobody's searching for it. But do you want to know what I would do? And this is, you know, I should be charging you a lot for this. I would source beetroot gummies and I would blast it all over TikTok, all over Instagram, and then I would bring it to the UK market. And you know what would happen? You would get people searching beetroot gummies because they would see it on TikTok, they would see it on Instagram, and they would start searching for it. Look at this, turmeric gummies. All of these types of products, they're all starting to do this because it's a trend. It's a macro trend that people, that brands are starting to make gummy versions of, you know, those shitty. Because if you've ever taken turmeric, you have to take it in a capsule and it sucks. But if you can just be sitting in your car on the M4 or whatever when you're driving to your job, like pop it in your mouth, it's way more what's the word I'm looking for?
Easier,
convenient.
more effective, yeah.
So no one's searching for beetroot gummies, but it's exactly the same product as beetroot capsules. And then look at this, beetroot shots. Does anyone else smell a brand emerging? Hey, because I do, and it smells like beetroot. I'm trying to say funny things so that we can clip it and put it on Instagram and stuff.
There's been plenty in this.
You're supposed to be like giving like a round of applause with the sound effects and stuff. But I think that is such a crazy opportunity. Beetroot capsules, beetroot gummies. Because then again, if we go back to the US market, so do you guys see how starting from something like helium-10 or starting from something like this, where you're seeing this data, you can see some opportunities. So I need some portable IV for hangovers, or I need gummies. Yeah. How do you tell? Have seen melatonin gummies too. Useful for jet lag. Yeah, exactly. Let's have a look at that. Melatonin gummies, because that's another one. Melatonin gummies. So this looks like this one is a bit more what's the word, when a niche has been around a bit longer.
It's a bit more of established niche, yeah.
That's the word, yeah. Because if we have a look at the keyword search volume, I mean, look, for kids, that's an interesting, I'm going to have a look at that in a sec, that keyword. Right, look at this, yeah. So you can see around 2020, they started to really pick up. So this is what happens, right, is one company will create a product and then it will catch on, and then everyone else will start doing it. But if you catch on to these trends as they're around here, then you're gonna be able to reap the rewards of more and more people searching for that. And it's not mental in the UK. And then also look at this, melatonin gummies for kids. So this is another trending one that's going up. So let's have a look. This is awesome. Look at that branding specifically for kids. Because what I was going to say is, if nobody else is really doing their branding specifically aiming at kids, but I mean, look at this. This is such a good opportunity from a branding perspective. I mean, these look, at the beginning of the live stream, I said about the price of products, but you can probably sell these. They're probably making these for about 60p. 70p or something. It's $6.99. Are they made in the UK? I don't know, but look at that. That's crazy, man. They're probably so easy to make as well. Like just crazy easy. So you can see how we find these niches, and then you can find something else, a smaller niche within it. But that's why I love this exploding topics. Let's keep going. A bicycle sofa. What the hell is that? Sorry for being late. That's all right, Zane. Welcome. How would they rank without PPC though? Would just be all profit gone because of that? No, they would use PPC. Yeah, they would definitely use PPC. But you can also use external marketing as well. Paddle shoes. Paddle is absolutely taken off, going crazy. MagSafe ring, cold plunge. Don't launch a cold plunge, please. Don't do it. That's an example of something that everyone is trying to jump on.
That was on last week, wasn't it, when we did it?
Yeah. Magnesium gummies again. Like, this is really trending. So you might want to be thinking, what other niches might suddenly become popular with gummies? Because like a big one is creatine gummies. Like I've seen that before. There's a brand called Create. I think they're doing about $5 million a year now. They're absolutely killing it. They should be there. There you go. They're expensive as well, and the reviews are not even that great. Like, look how nuts this is, right? The reviews are 3.8 out of 5, which is terrible on Amazon, and they're doing insane numbers. They're doing $5 million a year. And you might look at this type of product as a beginner and you might be like, there's no way I could ever sell that. It's not as difficult as you think. Kanye, I don't know if it's Kanye or Kanye. I always forget to ask you, man. But so sorry if I mispronounce your name. How could you find and source a UK supplier? It's easy, man. Just go on Google. So UK supplier for Google, UK manufacturer for what was it, melatonin, let's say. So look at this. Melatonin products, you are going to have to do some digging, you're going to have to do some research, but you will be able to find.
I'll just type in supplement trade fairs UK. I've just done that. There's
there you go. See,
go along and they'll be full of suppliers.
So this sort of stuff is where, like, when you first start out, you think this stuff is very difficult, but it's actually not that difficult. It's just most people they'll never do this. So you can go along to this trade show in Manchester in March, swing by my parents' house if you want to go and visit them and have a cup of tea with my mum. And you can meet a load of suppliers. You can go there.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd be willing to help. You know, if you kind of just said, like, you're looking to get started as well, how did they find a manufacturer and so on? Like, they're all independents. Yeah,
exactly. So, you know, this is why looking at this stuff where you're thinking a little bit outside of the box is very, very useful. That was an interesting one. Bamboo pajamas. I looked at that not too long ago. What is this stuff? Shatavari powder. Let's have a look at this one. So, I mean, hang on a minute. Is anyone seeing what I'm seeing? Shatavari gummies.
Gummies is the in thing.
Let's have a look. What is it? This stuff. I'm gonna type in Shatavari. We're gonna see what pops up. Just need to check my calendar that I don't have a call because we might have to wrap it up in 15-20 minutes or so. I'm all right. I'm all right for time for now. So, okay, let's have a look. Shatavari supplement. Man, look at it all. Boring stuff again. Boring branding. You know, it's not been around that long. And again, you know, this stuff is not impossible to source. There is manufacturers that have this. They'll have bucketfuls of this stuff. Absolutely bucketfuls of it. And all you got to do is find them, brand it up, do some good marketing, know how to launch on Amazon. That's key. But look, these guys, you know, this is not a massive niche, and this is in the US market. Like, you know, so many opportunities here. Just that just makes me want to fall asleep. It's so boring. I'm gonna see if there is anybody searching for Shatavari gummies. So this is for hormonal balance. So, you know, you can start to think about the other products that you might be able to, like this, for example, Shatavari tea, Shatavari powder, capsules organic, the root itself. Let's see if anybody searches gummies. Shatavari gummies, nobody. So ashwagandha gummies, that's a big one, isn't it? But let's have a look if certain things might have a terrible flavor if you you know, if you try and make it into a gummy, perhaps. But again, this could be another one that, like, you get in early with something like this, because this type of products as well, this ashwagandha, you know, this has gone crazy again over the past couple of years. And if we have a look at this search volume, you're probably going to see that this wasn't really being searched. Really probably wasn't being searched until a few years ago. There you go. Look at that. There you go. Look, 2019, no one knew about this shit. And then all of a sudden, one company does it and boom. It's my first time at stream, but I find a product with the help of your video. Nice one. That's awesome, man. What about pharma gummies? Paracetamol gummies? Yeah, I mean,
there's probably some sort of regulation about stuff like that, isn't there?
Yeah. What is so? What do you mean by pharma gummies? What's that? I don't know. I mean, look at this, 60 reviews. So it's a new product. GABA gummies. I've seen this GABA before, and I'm not sure what it is. High potency formula. I mean, it's doing 20,000 a month. Yeah, I don't know. Not really sure what that is, but let's have a look. Let's have a look at a couple more, and then we will wrap it up. Is Amazon FBA still open and profitable for a beginner who wants to launch a product with 8 to 10K budget with so many Chinese sellers? Krishna, when the live stream ends, go back and rewatch it, son, because we talk about all of this stuff. And also, Krishna, what I would encourage you to do is, even if you only got $8,000 to $10,000, right? You can get into Amazon FBA with a small product. And over the next few years, if you learn this as a skill set where you're learning how to sell physical products on Amazon, that's an invaluable skill. So to answer your question directly, yeah, 100%. Like, e-commerce and selling physical products is one of the best skills that you can learn because it's not going away. Like, what's your alternative? You go and do copywriting and you get replaced by ChatGPT in 3 months. You know, there's so many things that are going to be impacted by ChatGPT and AI. And I think selling physical products, learning how to do marketing, learning how to do TikTok stuff. We've got a TikTok shop tomorrow. Forgot to mention that.
Yeah, let me put the link up for that.
Yeah, if you want to register, we've got a TikTok shop generator cover. Why is that trending? It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Because it's not a consumable product. I wonder why that's trending all of a sudden. An outdoor generator cover. I wonder why that's. Do you think more people are buying generators because of this whole like World War III thing? I don't know. Seen that movie where it's the end of the world? All that, whatever. Look at this one. This is a rip-off of one of those fancy bracelets, isn't it? All good, Krishna. All good, man. Sleep bonnet. This is an interesting one. Look at this. Can see you wearing one of these, Jansen, at night time to protect that. That's silky hairy
hair.
Let's have a look. Right. Why are people searching for this? Let's have a look. So this is why, right? When people say Amazon FBA is dead, and you know, there's no products to find and all of this, is like, you're not being creative enough. You know, I mean, I wouldn't want to sell these. I mean, look how cheap they are. Look at, you know, it's dominated by people with a lot of reviews. But I mean, there's still some people doing well with newer products. What is this? It's a very simple product, isn't it? It's going to be super, super cheap to make. And also what you can be thinking about is, you know, when you're making a brand like this, what else do other people buy? You know, when they're interested in stuff like this, what else are they buying? Are they buying, you know, are they buying consumable products as well that you could perhaps also launch? I get like this is, you know, this would be difficult to compete against at this price, with this level of, you know, the number of variations and stuff. Right, I'm gonna have a look at one more on exploding topics. If you got any questions, feel free to pop them into the nicotine pouches. That's going crazy.
Hey Al, look at it. Tom's obviously just posted in the comments, but not realised he's still logged in as Honest FBA. That's embarrassing.
What's he said?
He said, "Where's the good-looking guy who interviewed on it nowhere? He's my favourite." So arrogant, and he's done it from his own account. That backfired.
Is it too much to ask to do a quick product find in this live stream, which could be launched with 8 to 10K? Yeah, we found some, Krishna. We found some products, mate. Go back and watch it because we found some in the UK. You might be better looking in the UK market, but there's definitely some opportunity in the US market. And look, guys, if you've got 8 to 10K and you're looking to start an Amazon business, you should join Honest FBA. You should be in our community because we're going to teach you how to do all of this stuff.
And we do these sessions every week.
Yeah.
Just for our community.
You're going to be around other people that are doing this stuff that are going to help you over the next few years build a real business and a real brand. If you want to be around, you know, people doing this. Let's have a look. What is this texture powder? Oh, this is for hair, right? I'm going to have a look at this. It's weird why stuff like this just all of a sudden starts to pop off. But this is because of social media now. Like one video can go viral and it creates a trend. But look at this. All right. Let's have a look. I mean, look at this. I don't know if Pete and Pedro. My dad's called Pete. I always call him Pedro. So let's have a look. I'm going to have a look at some of this stuff. Might already be quite a big brand. It might be a big brand, and like this might be quite a well-known brand. Look at that guy. Wow. Muy guapo.
Stuff like that is super competitive, though, isn't it? When you're against all the big boys, the O2.
It is if they're all big brands. It is, but sometimes, it can be all right. And look, the reason we're doing a TikTok masterclass tomorrow is we're going to be teaching everybody how to market their products on TikTok, and that's going to help you, compete against some of the big boys as well, because some of these old brands, they're not really doing that. So it does look like these guys are getting some branded search, but not that much. So texture powder, they rank 4th for that. Hair texture, so they're not really getting. All right, so they're getting. They must be a known brand. Forte series 40. So okay, so they must be a known brand, but you know what? It doesn't scare me. I reckon I could beat them. Yeah, I don't know. All the branding looks very, very similar. So yeah, I'm not too bothered. Hair growth gummies. There you go. Can you give me any kind of strategy to rank my product at the first page? Is between 25, 16 profit. Yeah, Dragon. You're just going to have to learn a proper launch strategy, man. It's a bit too difficult for me to go into exactly how to do that right now. But yeah, grounding sheets. I looked at this one the other day, a walking pad. So people have a little treadmill. Freeze dried candy. Social media trend involving freezing confectionery. All right, I'm gonna have a look at this. What is this? Freeze dried candy. Look at this, man. So much money to be made. There's just so many opportunities and not enough time for me to do all of them. So I'm going to give it to you guys instead. Right, let's have a look at this. And then this is going to be the last one. Freeze-dried candy. Look at this, man. This is crying out for a new brand in here. Look at it. 9,000 bought. 9,000 bought. 6,000.
What is that? Freeze-dried candy? Skittles?
What even is it, man? And you can get this in the US. You can have it shipped to Amazon in look at this, 3 images. My Lord. Let's have a look what people are searching for. Look at it. Made in the US, but I guarantee you can get this made relatively easy. I just realized I'm like sinking down like this. Because I'm getting a sore back. So let's have a look. Freeze-dried candy as a niche. That's doing $300,000, right? So I'm going to have a quick look in the UK market, even though it's not going to be the same keyword because we don't call it candy. Freeze-dried, probably sweets. It would be in the UK.
Yeah, freeze-dried sweet. I just don't even know if it's a thing.
Doesn't really look like a thing, does it? But this is what's interesting is like maybe this sort of trend would also, it would also move across to the UK. And you could be one of the first people to do it there. But let's have a look at what these guys are getting searched for. 1 to 15, apply filters. We've got 54 people in the live stream. Thanks a lot for joining us, folks. Get your 30% off Helium 10. If you're still watching and you've not signed up to Helium 10 using our link at the bottom of the page, please do so because it's a great tool. We make some money. You find some products. Everybody wins. Helium 10 are going to buy us a Tesla, like Trevin Peterson. So let's have a look. Freeze-dried candy. Let's have a look. Look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine, you know what this is like? This is like getting in on Bitcoin back in the day, isn't it? Just before it
hit the jackpot.
And look, this is only a few years ago. This was just during COVID. This took off, and a completely new market emerges, and you can be there right at the front of this. Sometimes, Yeah, freeze-dried candy. Let's have a look. So freeze-dried treats. I mean, look, I'm not saying this is a super low competition niche, but actually what I did want to see is like this brand that is absolutely killing it. I thought they might be getting searched directly by for their brand name, but I don't think they are. Nobody is searching KD Supplies. So that means that this company is absolutely killing it. 300,000 a month with 3 shitty photos that looks like my nephew did it. And they're probably making millions. Let's have a look at what else they sell. Now they might be the manufacturer of this product. So if we look at KD Supplies on Google, where did I search Google? They might be a big manufacturer. kdsupplies.co.uk, heating products in the UK. KD Supplies, is it this one? Nope. What's it called? Candy. So I'm trying to find their website to see if they're a manufacturer. I mean, they might be a manufacturer still. They might just sell, they might just sell directly on Amazon. But I mean, this is absolutely wild. Where was it? So if you go down here, you can see all of the products that they rank for. Dragon, chill out, son. We're not doing PPC. This is product research, mate. So
it's called you Habibi, which means my love.
So you can see all like they obviously sell all these sweets and stuff, right? But like, let's see what they're doing. 9,000 of those. They're going to be so cheap to make as well. But that's absolutely wild. So I did this by starting out on Helium 10, but then going to exploding topics, and finding these products like this. Freeze-dried candy. Look at all these searches. Freeze-dried Skittles, freeze dryer machine. So that's another thing. Imagine if you make, oh, that's a different type of product, but I was going to say, imagine if you make the actual machine. Freeze-dried Jolly Ranchers, freeze-dried candy cheap, TikTok merchandise. So maybe this was a big one on, maybe this was a big TikTok product. So yeah, right. I think we should start wrapping it up because I'm getting a bit hungry. So to sell edible beet gummies in the USA, wouldn't we need loads of certifications when manufactured outside of the UK? So Mailers, 2 parts to that question. Number one is you could manufacture them in the US. The US. So if you go to a website called ThomasNet and you search for supplements or whatever, you're gonna look at this: gummy supplements, pet supplements, CBD, probiotic. You can find these things in the US. So first of all, don't think that you have to source them outside of the US. Second of all, do you need the certificates? Yes, you do. But that's a good thing, because if you actually go ahead and you get those certificates, then you're going to do what nobody else will do. So other beginners are not going to do that. So that means that you're going into a niche that's difficult, and that's what you want to do. You don't want to be doing, you don't want to be going into a niche that's easy, because it means there's a lot more competition. Why are there so many people doing FBA courses while they can use that time to launch more products? Just try and understand the business logic. Krishna, it's a good question. So at the moment, we have somebody that runs our Amazon brand, right? If you think about what we have, we've got a skill, which is we know how to launch products on Amazon, right? If we can make money doing that skill in 2 ways, which is also helping other people, then why would we not do that, right? Because we've got an awesome community now where we've got amazing people in there. We're helping people. We're making money as well. And everybody wins.
And we're forced to keep sharp, right?
Huh?
We're forced to keep sharp, like, because of the fact that we coach people. We do Amazon product research every single day, which helps us with our own product research when we're looking for ways to improve our products, build our brands, and so on.
Yeah,
it's literally not. There's no reason not to. If you've got a skill set, you're very knowledgeable about something that other people aren't.
Yeah,
you should be monetizing it.
It's like a lot of barbers or people that cut hair, they also like coach as well. They also teach other people how to do it. Or I can't think of another example, but what would another example be of where you know, some people will have a day job and then they will also teach at a university, and they will teach that at a university. It's exactly the same thing. It's just like it wouldn't make sense if we were teaching a course on, you know, how to play golf, and it was just completely unrelated to what we did. That wouldn't make any sense. But what we do makes complete sense.
Actually, a good example is a friend of mine last night said he's getting cooking lessons from a head chef of a restaurant.
There you go.
And he said he literally was like, this food's amazing. Went and said to him, any chance you can coach me? And the guy now goes to his house every Saturday. Doesn't distract him from his main job. It's just he's got a skill set and there's demand for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Nicole, where would you get the certificates for things like food and supplements? You would probably get them from the manufacturer. You would need to speak to Amazon. You would need to see exactly what certificates you need to sell that product. Usually, if it's FDA, there are companies that can help you with that. So there's companies that you can pay and they will help you get the certificates. They streamline everything. Thanks, Afir. Thanks a lot, man. It's good to be back on Twitter. Yeah, follow us on Twitter. We were banned for 2.5 months, nearly 3 months. It was the darkest time in my life.
You were incredibly productive, though.
I was so productive. It was.
And you're on Twitter now, aren't you? I don't know how many people are watching, but yeah.
Yeah. But we're back in the game. We're back in the game. Look, I know that the Amazon space is full of bullshitters, right? But the truth for this is the next 5 to 10 years, if you can get into e-commerce, it's going to be very, very lucrative. People that I respect a lot in the industry, people like the CEO of Ridge Wallets, a guy called Sean. He is a super, super smart guy, and he is incredibly bullish on e-commerce. This is a brand that does hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, and he's going to take this to being a $1 billion brand. These people understand the way that the world is going, and e-commerce is not going to go away. And if you learn how to sell physical products, you can make some great money. You're trying to sell high-end cosmetics, Igor. Any tips? High-end cosmetics. If you want to sell high-end cosmetics on Amazon, you need to be building a brand awareness off of Amazon. It's the only way that you're going to win. Because if it's high-end, then it's going to be expensive. So it's going to be quite difficult to rank on Amazon. So the way that I would do it is partner with influencers, make incredible products. Look at products like native deodorant. So it's not really, I wouldn't describe it as cosmetics, but it's a high-ish end deodorant, right? It's a very natural deodorant. I think it's sold for something like $200 million or something stupid, maybe less. But it's expensive. It's a bit more high end than regular stuff. In order to do this, you can't just launch it on Amazon, because if nobody knows the brand, it's going to be difficult for you to compete. But if you do full marketing, if you do off Amazon marketing where you're building brand awareness around the product, and at the very core of all of these brands is an incredible product. That's the very core of anything that's high end, because it needs to be really quality. If I'm releasing my first product into a niche that's on my budget, but most of the niches in the category are quite heavily contested, how would you approach launching second, third? I'm not really sure what you mean there, mate. If I'm releasing my product into a niche, how would you approach? Do you mean once you've launched that first product? Can you explain a little bit, Lob? Yeah, can you say that again? Do you mean when you come to launch your second and third products, are those niches in big niches that are too big for you, do you mean? I think that's what you mean. Off here, who's this new guy, Jansen? I've no idea. He just turned up on the stream, and I don't know how he got in.
I just stumbled on the stream.
So Jansen, if you go back and watch the YouTube channel, Jansen is he's the newest member of Honest FBA. He's now one of the co-founders. He's been in the Amazon game for a few years, killing it. 7-figure seller, bloody nice bloke as well.
Great guy.
So Jansen,
actually, it's really important to mention, I started documenting my journey on YouTube first. And Alex slid into my inbox and he went, "Hello, Johnson. You're an inspiration." That was like 2018, a couple of months after I started, and then we've basically been chatting every day since.
Yeah. So yeah,
missed that bit out, didn't you?
Crew. Eh?
I said you missed that key fact out. You used to look up to it. You used to call me King Jansen.
Big J. Thanks for coming, Emily. Sweet, right?
On there, mate. An hour and a half, 90 minutes.
An hour and a half. Bloody hell! That was
Time flies, doesn't it? Well, there's the discount link anyway, guys.
Helium 10 discount, 30% off. If you're interested in joining Honest FBA, check the link in the description. We are going to be plugging it because we're damn proud of it. We've got an amazing course. We've got an amazing community. We've got people absolutely killing it with products, building amazing brands. We're going to be changing the game over the next few years. You've never seen anything like it. All these fake gurus, they're going to be bowing down and kissing our feet. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're going to be doing big things in this industry over the next few years. So get in early. Can you do a short summary of exploding topics? You've got to go back and watch the get the pro version. Get the pro version, man. It's absolutely top class. If you go back and watch the recording of this, I dive into it a bit more. But it's I think you'll enjoy it a lot. And drop me a DM on Twitter if you want to chat about it. Should we learn basic manufacturing process? Is it better to understand? I mean, yeah, it's good to have knowledge of the manufacturing process for sure. Once I've launched my first product, easier creative, but all the other have high competition. How should I expand? Okay, that's a good question. So let's have a look at creatine gummies. Let's say you launch a creatine gummy, right? You don't have to then launch like a magnesium gummy. What you could do is you could have a bunch of different flavors, a bunch of different pack sizes. You could, do creatine capsules, like whatever. You don't always have to scale like vertically, horizontally. You can, there's different ways that you can scale, right? So you can, like these guys have only got 2 flavors, so you could have a bunch of different flavors. You could have different packs. A really good example of this is like Zesty Paws, right? So they're a pet supplement company, but look at all the different products that they do. So dental bones, skin and coat, allergy. You can do lots of different products within the same sort of niche. So you don't always have to go into, new niches. You can try and, if you imagine the niche that you're in is a big pie, right? And you've got one small slice of the pie, then just eat more of the pie. Just take more of the pie. Like you don't have to go and eat another pie. You don't have to go and,
I don't have time for the pie thing, Alex.
You don't have time for the pie?
Oh. Sorry, it's a very niche office quote.
Oh, I thought you meant you have to get offers in the middle of my
yeah, carry on.
All right, I think that's it. Should we wrap it up?
Final shout out as well tomorrow. Remember the TikTok shop, which Alex is going to be on co-hosting.
Yep, Michael G. Yep, TikTok class. I don't know if everybody's lost Jansen or if it's just me. Honest. Can you guys still hear me? Type yes if you can, because I'm not sure whether I've lost it or whether it's Jansen. We all lost it. All right, so it's just Jansen. We've got a brand in Krishna. We've got a brand in the pet space. We are not public with the brand yet. I show people all the time, and we're probably going to be public with it this year. We will show it. We show it inside the community as well. We're going to be showing it within the community. The reason that we're not public with it is there's not really any advantage for us to do that at this point just yet. But we will do at some point. We don't really want, tens of thousands. We've got a lot of followers across social media, so we don't really want, tens of thousands of people all seeing exactly what we sell. We haven't got that big of a moat yet, to be perfectly honest. But we've got a lot of products in the pipeline this year. A lot of products, and as you can see, there's so much opportunity on Amazon that you really don't you should be finding so many opportunities. There's new niches appearing all the time. So yeah, there's an endless supply of products to sell. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Jansen has left me. I think he just rudely disconnected it because he got bored of me yapping on. So thank you all for coming. 43 people left on the stream. Yeah, thanks a lot for coming. Thanks a lot for your good questions, Krishna. Thanks a lot, Grant. Cash flow, yeah, always a problem, man, but there's options. You know, you can get investment, you can leverage finance. Focus on learning the skills is what I would say. If you don't have the cash, focus on learning the skills. You can always find cash somewhere. Mario, cheers for coming, brother. Michael G, thanks for coming. Zane, thanks for coming. Thanks for the support, man. Appreciate it. Love you all. I will see you in the next one. Have a good evening.